Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the formulajonah YouTube channel, and welcome to another live stream covering the WEC event in Fuji. It's time to go racing once again. We're here for race week at the Fuji International Speedway in Japan for round 7 of the season, which also happens to be the penultimate round of this 2024 championship. Things are heating up as we head into this event, but welcome everybody so far that are joining. Really appreciate the support as always. But yeah, this is going to be covering the Fuji details ahead of the event. This is our pre-race details or race preview in live stream format. I'm formulajonah, and joining me once again is my good friend David. David, it is good to have you back here live streaming with us for this event. We're heading into Fuji just 2 weeks after Lone Star Le Mans in Austin. We're already here for another race week, and I'm blown away that we have such a competitive field in the WEC's hypercar class, LMGT3 class, and just what's your thoughts as we head into Fuji and a return to Japan?
Well, it's almost like it's Formula One, like a race every single weekend or every other weekend like this. I mean, I'm not used to it. I'm used to following this race where you have to championship where you have to wait months for the next race. So having it back to back almost like this is great. And of course, coming right from Texas with a great race, an exciting result with the of course winning that race. So yeah, excited as always, but also a bit sad that it's the penultimate race of the season.
Yes.
We're looking ahead to like going into the championship deciders now, and it's heating up. It's pretty close in the manufacturers championship at least, and that just says it all about this season. It has been close racing throughout the whole year, and a great change from last year. Of course, we also had close racing, but it was Toyota winning all the races almost, except Le Mans, of course, where Ferrari won. But now this year, so many different winners, so many cars in it, and excited for another race where it's going to be a bunch of different teams and manufacturers up at the top.
Yeah, you said it well. I think it's going to be very close in the hypercar class here in Fuji. I think that last year we had a pretty intense fight between Porsche and Toyota, mainly with the number 6 car up at the front for a lot of the race, which was great to see. But I think we're going to get an even more exciting 6 hours of Fuji here in 2024. It's definitely going to be exciting. Thank you to everybody who's joined so far. I'm just looking over at our comment section and the live viewers right now. Great to see so many people joining, which is great to see. If you haven't checked out what happened during Lone Star Le Mans, I would highly recommend checking out the race review, which recently came out this week, covering basically what happened during the whole event in Austin. David, you mentioned just a moment ago that it was victory for Ferrari, their 499P in the hands of Yi, Robert Kubica, and Robert Schwartzman taking the win in one of the closest finish to the WEC in all of the time that this championship has been around. So that's a big accomplishment. You know, you had a very intense fight between the number 7 Toyota and the number 83 Ferrari. And I believe, if my calculations are not incorrect, this is the closest finish for an overall victory in the WEC. I think the closest finish to a race was in the GT category a few years back at Spa, and I believe it was like 2018 or 2017 or something like that. Can't remember the exact year. But yeah, I think that it's possible that here at Fuji or in the final round of Bahrain, we could get another close finish with how things are coming into this event. And considering how many manufacturers are involved, you have 8 in the hypercar category, 9 in LMGT3. This is also marking the debut for the LMGT3 class in Japan. Last time we were here, the GTE cars were racing in the AM category. So yeah, I think we're going to see a much closer GT field, a much more competitive GT field, although this is an event where it could potentially be dominated by one specific car, because this season in LMGT3 has been kind of dominated by Porsche and the 911 GT3R. Every single victory besides Imola and most recently in Austin, Texas, has been won by Porsche, either the 92 or the 91 car. And David, this is something I want to get your thoughts on because this event could mark the title deciding event for the LMGT3 class because the number 92 Manthey Pure Racing Porsche could secure the championship here at Fuji even before the final race in Bahrain, just proving how the Porsche number 92 car has been so competitive, so successful, and ultimately so dominant this year.
Yeah, it's no surprise that they're leading and leading by that margin that they could finish it this weekend. Of course, we hope for a close championship throughout the whole season, but we can't say anything about Manthey Racing and how they have put that 911 GT3 car into their position where they can now finish the championship with victory with one race to go. Of course, that would also help for a bit more fun racing, maybe at Bahrain. If it's already finished with the World Championships, then there is a possibility of other teams just going for it a bit more without thinking. But yeah, not to say anything, not to add anything about Porsche because they have been great this year throughout all the championships in terms of endurance racing. We've seen that GT3 car just do absolute bits around tracks in the whole world. So yeah, I'm not surprised, but hopefully they will wait until the final race so we have two classes with close racing for the championship.
We'll definitely see how it goes. You know, it's going to be fascinating to see what happens here at Fuji and in the final race at Bahrain in November, of course. And viewers, if you are a little disappointed that we are coming to the end of the season, don't worry, because not just this isn't the end for endurance racing in the WEC, but we also have racing over in IMSA. There's going to be some very competitive races at Indianapolis and Road Atlanta coming up just after this weekend. And I bring this up because this is a very important time to mention this. September also marks the 6 hours of Indianapolis race that's going to be happening, or the Battle of the Bricks, as IMSA has it labeled as. Next weekend is that race, of course, and we'll be transitioning our focus to the IMSA event in Indianapolis next week. But I just wanted to mention that there is also racing going on in IMSA. There's also racing going on in other championships, such as the European Le Mans Series. Asian Le Mans Series is returning very soon. Speaking of which, the entry list has just been revealed for that, with around 44 cars competing full-time, according to the provisional entry list as well. But of course, this video, or this live stream, is all about Fuji. We got to talk about this 6-hour endurance race. We'll get into some more interesting facts as we go along. And we're also going to be going into our predictions as well for this event. But yeah, I just want to mention that this event has been dominated by Toyota over the last few years. Fuji has been an event since, or has been on the WEC calendar since the championship was established in 2012. The 6 hours of Fuji has run every single year except during 2020 and 2021 due to the pandemic. And so throughout that entire period of Fuji existing in the WEC, only two manufacturers have taken the overall victory. Porsche won in 2015. That was their only victory at this track to this date. Every single year besides that has been won by Toyota. 9 victories have been achieved by the Japanese squad. They have dominated over many different eras through their different cars that have competed. Most recently with the GR010, of course, taking victory in 2023, with both of the Toyotas securing first and second last year. And yeah, Toyota have just been super, super dominant. They have 9 victories, as I mentioned. They are coming into this race potentially looking to secure their 10th victory, which would be a huge achievement for this brand. Can Toyota do it? Can they win on home soil? We will see how that goes. But Porsche definitely looks strong heading into this one. Ferrari are looking strong as well. And I have to say, I think that BMW could potentially get in the mix as well. Their M Hybrid V8 showed very strong pace at COTA, and BOP looks to have pretty much zero changes for the German LMDH car. And so I think that it's possible that BMW may potentially get in the fight as well. So there's a lot of storylines to go into this race, and we'll definitely get into a few of those. But I guess this is a good point to kind of start going into our predictions. What do you say, David? Do you think we should get into those?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, it has been close racing. The last time we were at Fuji, Porsche was fighting with Toyota for the win. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a new winner. But obviously, it's the home race for Toyota, and they have shown through all the years they've been in the WEC, they have prioritized winning at home
Absolutely.
in Fuji. Um, so yeah, definitely a race where I expect Toyota to be strong as always. Um, but that's not something new. It's something we've seen throughout all the races this year. They have been up there every single time. Um, so so yeah, I suspect a great race, as almost always this season.
Yeah, I very much agree with you, and I think that Toyota will definitely be one of the favorites heading into this race. I mean, they have been very quick over the last couple of events. You look to Le Mans, Sao Paulo, and COTA. They've been in the fight for the win every single time. And in Sao Paulo, they had the dominant car. They won that event with the number 8 car. So definitely interested to see. However, even though Toyota looks to be strong, they look to be one that could potentially fight for the overall victory, that doesn't mean they are going to win. So we'll see how that goes. And I think that's going to be proven by potentially one of our predictions. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's move into our predictions now for the 6 hours of Fuji in the WEC. This is going to be a very intense event with 2 classes on the grid. LMP2 is not here with the class being removed from the full season. So yeah, definitely excited to see what happens. But I guess we'll start off with the LMGT3 class, and then we'll go from there. David, why don't you go ahead and start with your prediction for LMGT3, and then we'll go with the flow and see how things go with the hypercar predictions later on.
Well, I'm gonna be a bit boring. This you could say boring, because I'm putting Mansa Racing to win this race. I'm putting both of the cars on the podium, just mixed up with an Aston Martin Heart of Racing, because they have done so well last time, and they found pace in that car. Um, so I'm suspecting that that it's going to be a great race. I see Porsche dominating, and thereby GT Le Mans is going to be a bit of a boring class to follow this race. Um, but with the endurance racing, we always see fighting down the pack. It's not like Formula One where we have Formula A and Formula B almost. It's everybody to take it. Um, yeah. Wait, didn't I put a Ford in second, didn't I?
I think, yeah, I was just about to mention
Yeah,
that.
I was about to say yeah because I thought about, sorry,
No
I
worries.
thought about putting a Aston Martin, but then I remember um, that the top speed of the Aston Martin hasn't been there this year, and I think that straight line that we saw at Le Mans, where Ford really
Mm-hmm.
did well, that straight line is going to be important for the race, both for slipstream, but also just in general that does a lot for the lap time. So yeah, a bit of a mix up there.
I think we have a little bit of delay on the stream here, but I think we are back. I'm just trying to make sure that everything's good. Didn't know that this would have any effect on things, but I think. Sorry, viewers. Yeah, we keep having. I might restart our stream because I don't understand why it keeps dropping back and forth.